Oh me. All right, guys, I'm here. It's Friday. Continuing the theme of I need some sleep. I don't feel half bad. I've been here probably an hour already, cleaning up and straightening up, winding down at the end of a big, long week. And you know, I tell people this quite often. I should probably listen to it more myself. I don't think people listen to it enough. Is that everything that you do during your full day is part of training. You know, work, kids, stress, you know, driving kids wherever they need to go, bills, all that stuff. That's all training. So when people say overtrained, you know, you look at it as under-recovered. You know, it all eats into your body's ability to recover. If you could just sit around and do nothing all day, except train, then you can train and do a lot more than you can if you're having to deal with stressful situations. Now, if you deal with stressful situations better than other people, then I don't know. Then I guess maybe you can train harder. But you know, everything that you deal with is a stress on your body, just like doing an intense set of squats, deadlifts, strongman events, weightlifting, you know, that sort of thing. So I a little tired. I thought about just doubling up on the caffeine and the pre-workout. Decided not to do that. I don't need another stressor going on today. So what I've done is I made some modifications. I know that with my arthritis, fueled by arthritis and ambition shirt on today. It's one of my new shirts in the shop as well. It's quite nice. I like it quite a bit. It's a 3X. I'm growing, in case you guys haven't noticed. I barely fit into I was, you know, in a baggy 2X in December, and this is a 3X, and it's fairly tight. So I am growing, and all my presses are going up, my squats, my deadlifts are going up, and a lot of that comes down to absolutely, you know, better quality food, having some better luck with my diet, and a lot of my training has been more reps and volume, not just, you know, not just Viking press volume, not just bench press volume, not just squat and deadlift volume, but all of the accessories. You know, I've added more accessories. Instead of doing one set of an accessory, I might do 4 to 6 sets of an accessory. It's not balls to the wall intense. It's getting the accessory done and making slow progress on it. I think one of the best things that I've done with my bench, if you look over the last several months, I don't think I've taken anything anywhere near 300 pounds on the bench in a long time. Most of my work has been sets and reps in the 70% range, 80% range, with bands and with straight weight, after doing shoulders, volume shoulders. So I think I want to keep with, you know, I need to go back. I bench pressed 359 last week when Graham was here. That's the first time I've done just a regular straight bench press in a long doggone time. And you know, that was without peaking or anything like that. It was a huge PR for a long time anyway. That was without peaking or trying to hit, you know, hit a big numbers. No board presses, no extra tricep work, no extra rest, nothing. It was just walk into the gym. That's what I went up to that day, and that's what I hit. So I go back and I, you know, you get the notion. I just want to go heavier again and see if I can beat it this week. Well, the idea is, do I start testing? Or do I go back and start training? Do I repeat what I know is already working? So that's what I'm going to do. So the core of what I'm doing is here sectioned out in the bench press. Let's get there first. This will stay where I want it to. Standard warm up today. The shoulder dislocates, a set of bicep curls, set of triceps just to get blood flowing in the upper body. Some dumbbell laterals. I do need to continue to push these. My big issue with these, and I'll show you this today, is that when I'm doing the dumbbell laterals, I'm still using a lot of my trap as a misfunction. It shouldn't be happening. And a lot of people do this. Absolutely, a lot of people do this. When you look at my pressing, I'll say all the time that I need stronger shoulders. Don't need a stronger press. I do need a stronger press, but I need stronger shoulders. When I'm doing dumbbell presses or overhead press, I'm pressing with my traps and not my delts. So I've got to have stronger delts, but how do I do that? I've got to get that trap to shut off. So we're going to work on a couple of things today to get that trap distracted and shut off so I can use the delts a little bit more on the laterals. Something for the Arnold presses. I've got some dumbbells in the back I need to make up, and I just want to set those shoulders on fire. That rotation where it comes around on the Arnold presses and going back is doing worlds of good for my rear delts and the shoulder. The big thing that I'm changing here, I'm going back to the bands on bench press. Because I am a little tired, I'm not going to do my 80% sets. So I'm going to do my rough 50, 60, and 70% sets. And then I'm going to take the bands off, and instead of going from bands to straight weight, I'm going to go bands to chains. At least that's my plan as of right now. We'll see when I get there. I'm probably going to use the 55-pound chain plus 35-pound chain. I think that's going to give me the best carryover as far as what chains are going to feel good for my press and the amount of tricep work that I need compared to the straight weight. And then finishing off with the straight weight. I don't know how good the straight weight is going to feel at that point, which is a big reason why I'm not using the 80%. And if I'm looking at the straight weight, probably down here in the next couple of weeks, I'll need to drop this down probably to I think I've got it written down as 55, 65, and 75%. I'll probably need to drop this continually down to 45, 55, and 65% with optional heavier singles or board presses after that. But that's where the majority of my pressing is going to come from after being pre-exhausted up here. I want to do some balance work. You'll see that. I've got a client who's having issues getting and staying tight on the bench press. I want to do some work. And I've been working here on the rack to get my rack set up a little bit better so I can show him a couple of things. Incline PVC, I need to do the high reps. The high reps is paying off with the shoulder development, the rear delt development, even on that PVC. It's killing my rear delts and pecs. It's making that grow up. I really want to do something with the barbell. I would love something, even if it's 135 for 5 sets of 5 with very little rest. I would love 175 for 5 sets of 5, and that is in pounds, sadly. But I'm absolutely horrible at that. The tricep rack presses, I need to do something for triceps. I will sacrifice some recovery and some strength on Sunday if I can get in here and make some progress today. And I need to finish off with some kind of rows. I would love to do some seated pulley rows, and I really need the one-arm rows. I think those are absolutely beneficial for the strongman athlete. Not the dumbbell rows, but some one-arm cable rows of any kind. I think having that one-arm activation not only makes you a better presser, a better lifter, a better stone lifter, better at Husafell, better at dumbbell press, but it's a big safety issue and a great way to assess your body as well. So I've got the heater on in here. Sadly enough, it's actually warm in the sun, but the wind is blowing in from the sea right over there. And if I open that door, it's an absolute cold wind coming in, which is wild because it's going to get hot next week, and I do mean hot next week. So give me a few minutes. Let me finish my half scoop plus the extra sodium and the extra essential aminos and vitamins. Get the barbell set up, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Arthritis and ambition. Set the hand, come on. Legs. Alright guys, that was pretty interesting. I ran down through my percents with bands, stripped the bands off, switched to chains. Chains were a little bit heavier at the top than the bands. Feel totally different. I probably felt better with the chains than I did with the bands, even though the bands kind of anchor you down to where you're almost pressing against a machine. You don't have to control as much about pressing, the direction. It kind of locks everything in because it's pegged and being pulled down to the ground. But you have to create more force against those bands. You have to beat the band. So whatever the bands weigh, you have to be able to create dramatically more force than what kind of tension they're putting down on you. I guess you have to do that with the chains as well, but it feels different. The chains do require me to use a lot more lats to stabilize this way, to bring the weight out. I would like to have had a little more chain on the ground, unracking it. I could feel the chains moving a little bit, which with a heavier weight, it's either going to be a great thing or a terrible thing. So I've taken the bands off and the chains off. I've got 4 sets of straight weight. So we'll see how that goes. Using my first set, as soon as I take the bands or the chains off, feels kind of strange. So only got 190 pounds in the bar. Knock out a nice little set of 5. That feels wild. Lock in the lats. Come on. Twist the pinkies. Set it in the hands. Come on. Yeah. Lots of legs. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's solid work on the bench press. Ran through my percents with the bands, percents with the chains, and then still hit the percents straight weight after that. Now granted, I'm using roughly 75%, where standardly I would be using 80% for 2 sets of 2. So I did 2 sets of 3 at 75% roughly, where I would normally be doing 2 sets of 2 or 3 sets of 2 at 80%. But that's solid. That's a lot of volume. That's a lot of purposeful volume. A lot of stuff that I can build on. It's not just a random set. So I can start knocking out an extra set here or there to build on. I can add just a little bit of weight each side. Or I can turn those 5s into 6s, and those 4s into 5s, and those 3s into 4s, and make progress consistently from top to bottom over the next several months. And I know as long as I'm pressing with bands, with chains, and straight weight, and doing a pretty decent amount of volume, that my regular bench press is going to go up. Because this is still not casual pressing. It's still pressing with a sense of urgency. That's something a lot of people miss. So with the whole sense of urgency thing, give me a couple of minutes to recover. I'm going to set up a pretty ridiculous amount of band tension here because I've got to make a quick little video and some photos for a client that needs to learn how to set up much better and tighter on the bench press. So there's a great way to learn how to do that. Let me see if I can set that up. All right, man, we're gonna work on getting you set up a little bit tighter on the bench. You're a little bit loosey-goosey, dancing around. Something very common that I see people doing, unracking the barbell, and they're just not death row tight when they unrack the bar. See your feet moving around, your body shifting, and you're not unracking the bar. Serious. So what I want you to do is take a pair of light bands, set it up on your bench. I've used average as well, but this will be definitely enough to get you started and to make my point. Absolutely run video while you're doing this, because just in case you end up eating the barbell, you want to have the video, that way you can sell it and make enough money to get your teeth fixed. So I'm going to try this. My rack is acting up funny on the other side. I'm trying to tighten the bolts where I rack the bands, where I strap the bands down, and one of my little screwdrivers is acting all funny and not wanting to work right. So that's why I'm running the video, why I'm running the camera, just in case I have to fix my teeth. Get tight. That actually wasn't that bad on band tension, but if you are not used to getting set up tight and setting your lats into place, getting your traps tucked down, your shoulders tucked down, your legs into the floor, if there's anything that's not dug in 100%, it's going to, these bands are going to own you instead of you owning the bands. I guess, I don't know what these bands weigh. I weighed one band, and my scale only goes up to 90 pounds. Then it was way past that on lockout. So this is way over 200 pounds, probably somewhere in the area of 240, 250 in band tension at lockout. So it's 300 pounds unracking it, but you're just unracking it. In general, a 10-second hold, a 1-second competition press, 1-rep competition press, 10-second hold, 1-rep competition press. That'll help you, at least I think mentally, get you in the right groove so you can get set up a little bit better. And if this doesn't work, the next step, we move to the average bands, and then life gets really exciting. I've pressed these before, doubled, back when I was strong. Hope this helps. Being ripped apart. That closer grip feels better, easier. Just because it's more, it's elbows that are locking me in compared to the wider grip where it's shoulders that are stretching. But I need that movement of the shoulder stretching. I gotta think bodybuilder. Come on. Yeah. Alright guys, not a bad training session beginning to end. I got a lot done in a short period of time. Felt better as I went on. That's a great thing about doing some of the volume training is if you can get on a roll, chances are you can stay on a roll. And if you're training at a lower percent, you can make progress over a long period of time. Training in that 65 to 75% range without having to get totally crazy. You can spare a few sets here and there and make progress long term. Remember that. If you're a working dad like me, if you're stressed, if you never quite get enough sleep, if you never quite recover enough, and if you find yourself digging for an extra scoop in the bottle of the pre-workout powder, maybe consider the volume work over the intensity work, because that volume does equal intensity. And then as soon as you get 3 or 4 weeks to really explode, you can actually explode out of the gate, hit some big PRs. So the dislocates, the biceps, triceps, all getting warm. The dumbbell laterals, I never could quite get that trap fully distracted, but I did make progress. The delts themselves were getting worked really, really hard. And that was with a 5 kilogram, 11 pound dumbbell, and the delts were getting worked. So that means they're weak and they're getting worked, so they're going to get stronger. That's a great thing. The Arnold presses, I will probably keep those dumbbell handles that I used today. Don't know what to weigh. 10, 15, 20 pounds. We'll call them 50s, kilos, I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and probably add the smallest plates that I have per side on those next week and just continue to make really small, long-term progress on those. I just need that rotation, the rotation in, the rotation out, and the press, as well as the stability work. Knock out all the bench press work. There's a ton of progress made through all of that, and that's where everything is going to shine. And I use all of this and all of this to make the bench press stronger, and I use that bench press to make all of my strongman overhead press stronger. That's really important. All this stuff up here and all this stuff down here makes this stuff in the middle stronger. And it's important that all this stuff in the middle makes my strongman stuff stronger. Make sure your program does that. It doesn't have to be in that order, because for me, I'm rehabbing and then I'm doing kind of my, I don't know, it's an accessory safety exercises as well. But make sure that you're doing stuff to make your doing stuff to build stuff exercises actually work. I did the balance work with the light bands. Could probably done the average bands as well, but the lights were great enough to make my point. I did not do the incline PVC I did incline barbell instead with 135 for 5 sets of 5. Some closer grips, some wider grips. Still feeling out my weaknesses. My first week back to using an actual barbell on inclines. I did the hanging chains on those with some closer grips, bringing them down to my forehead. That's a whole lot of triceps right there. If you have elbow problems, that may not be the best thing for you to do because you're having to control it on the way down, and that's where the elbow joint quite often takes the blunt force of, if you're having the elbow joint is kind of often what's stopping you on the way down. So try doing the rack tricep extensions that I've been doing. Try to throw a video of that up there as I'm talking, hoping that I can do that. Because when you're doing the rack tricep extensions, it's like doing the chains and spinning good mornings. There's no negative. You can just take it and mostly drop it and then press against the rack to get that groove to go up. A little bit safer on the shoulder and elbows, but you can just go a little bit lighter on what I did. And with the banded chains, there's a whole lot of stability in there as well. So a lot of the small muscles around my triceps that I wouldn't normally use were getting used on that. Finished off with the rows, seated pulley rows, and the one arm seated pulley rows. Those are absolutely key. The one arm stuff is absolutely amazing for me. It makes everything work. The lat, the core, abs, the bicep, the grip. I'm stabilizing everywhere and moving everywhere at the same time. So those are absolutely key. Make sure if you're one of my clients, get those in your programming. I'm telling you to do lats 3, 4, 5 times a week. At least one of those sessions, you can do a few sets of those one arm seated pulley rows, or at least a one arm machine row in there somewhere. Full extension out, full extension back. Get the twist in there. What's that called where you move side to side? I had a client request some of those exercises the other day. I'll remember it as soon as I turn off the camera. Either way, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go home, eat, and hopefully spend all day tomorrow, Saturday, getting some rest, getting these videos edited out and sent to you guys. Once again, guys, the videos hopefully are longer, taking me a long time to edit, taking me a long time to get them up on YouTube because they keep getting kicked for music. And I want you guys to see more of the training because I want you to learn more about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it rather than just watching a cool video. I think watching and learning is cool. So if you appreciate the videos, you like the longer videos, you're learning from the longer videos, I don't care if it only gets 10 views, I don't get paid for this anyway. If 10 of you are liking it and learning from it, let me know down below and I'll keep doing it. Otherwise, I'll do the easy road and just edit it out so you can just see the cool sets and I'll pop it up there first time. Don't have any problem at all. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you on Sunday.